Libra, I'm getting a very specific message, but I only have one card out so far, so this may develop and we may get some more news. I'm hearing some more news for you. But the card that came out for you is Cut the Cord, Independence. And what I'm getting here is that there is some kind of family pattern, karma that was taking place that you have cleared. You've cut it. You're standing on the first place position here. You were the first one in your family to cut some kind of karmic cord. And it feels like the cord that you've cut is a cord that tried to keep you chained or bound to direction. It's like somebody else directing your path, or maybe just feelings of oppression directing your path. You've decided that you're going to do something your way. You're going to take a chance, branch out on your own, support yourself. You know, even if this is energetically, emotionally, maybe financially, even romantically, there's something here where you're doing something out of the ordinary in the context of your ancestral lineage or your family line. You are the anomaly. Okay, and this is very important because you've shifted and changed the energy, the karma, even the quantum memories that you hold in your cells, like you've shifted and changed something here. So we're going to get in further and see what else is going on for you, Libra, but I feel like this is cause for celebration. Now, this step forward that you've taken into an independent path may be a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. You might find that there aren't as many people on this path as you had hoped, or you don't really know where you're going, or people in your family or in your friends groups are having a harder time relating to you now that you've cut some karmic cord. But this is offering you some sovereignty and freedom. I keep getting like this oppressive energy that was trying to direct you, tell you what to do, or what you were capable of and what you were and weren't capable of. There's also, we don't talk about that, I'm hearing. It's like in your family, perhaps, there are certain things you just don't talk about. And I feel like you're doing a whole bunch of talking, a whole bunch of truth telling with your higher self, with spirit, maybe with some people that your chosen family or people that you really hold dear to you. You're doing a whole lot of truth telling. You're doing a whole lot of talking about the things that you're not supposed to talk about. You've truly cut the cord. And I'm seeing vocal cords, and it's like something bound around your vocal cords. Like, no, I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to not play out this karmic repetition in my family line. I don't know. It's very strong about family, but we're going to get more cards out and see how this message develops or where else we might go. So let's see, Libra. Tell me more about this cut the cord with independence for Libras. And I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which has a real Greek god kind of theme to it. And it is like a tale as old as time. It's stories that have been passed down to you about what certain things mean, or the possibilities that are available to you in your life. These have been stories that have been told to you in different ways, through smiles, I'm hearing, through nods, through grimaces, through people's facial expressions, telling you that this was a good choice or that's not a good choice, little comments here and there as you grew up. Okay, you didn't let that restrain you, bind you, hold you back. While the cards may be alluding to a certain Greek mythology, it doesn't mean you need to read them in that way. It helps to know the background. It helps to know your patterning. It helps to know what people in your family have been through and how certain decisions have informed their life, but it doesn't mean you have to live out the same destiny. Wow, powerful message, Libra. Okay, so let's see. Tell me more about cut the cord with independence. Justice. And that's what you came here to do. Part of the reason. You in your highest form. And like I said, this journey is not necessarily the easiest one, but it's one that comes with great rewards. You see things that other people did not want to see. did not want to talk about if they did see them. Okay, so there, along with the truth telling, there's a great balancing going on. Cutting this karmic cord is the justice. And you're very strong for choosing your own path, Libra. Even if you're thinking about a relationship right now or leaving a job, it still links back to your early years and what you were conditioned into believing was possible for you or not possible for you. And it could go even further back, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. There's something going on here in your ancestry where something was repeating over and over again. There could be a certain number of years, 13 years, 14 years. There was a repetition. Maybe people return to the same place often. I don't know. There's something you're breaking here. It feels like this is just a metaphor, but it feels like you're breaking a spell. And I don't mean that literally. I mean, it's as if everybody was kind of in a daze, like, this isn't the greatest thing that we're continuing to do, but we're doing it anyways. And you're like, whoa, I'm not doing that. I'm not choosing that path for myself. Your soul is very old, is what I'm hearing. And you're bringing forth the knowledge that you retained from your previous lifetimes into this lifetime. You're not going to repeat the same mistakes. You're very certain on that, whoever I'm connecting to today. And you've decided to remember your soul lessons in this lifetime, which again is not the easiest path to choose. But it is the one with the greatest rewards. So justice and cut the cord. Independence. Amazing. So let's see the energies that are in full support of you. I'm getting full support. Usually I just say support. Full support of you, Libra. If you're new here, by the way, welcome. My name is Andy. This is 13 Moon Tarot. For those of you who have been here a while, thank you for coming back. Thank you for all you do to support the channel and the readings. It means a lot to me. Anticipation. And I feel like somebody, I don't say that in every reading. And I feel you should anticipate some of that gratitude as well. Someone giving you a lot of gratitude for all you've done. Okay? Anticipation is the energy supporting you. Okay, I'm going to dig further into this, but let's get the energy challenging you. Energy challenging you. Libra. Anomaly, yeah. You are an anomaly. You are the anomaly. A routine. Exactly. This is it. Breaking the routine. Breaking the pattern. Introducing anomaly into this repetitive cycle. And I'm going to try to get more details on what that cycle is, but let's find out a little bit more about anticipation. Isolation. Ah, yes. The energy that is in full support of you is anticipating isolation. Well, yeah, when you break a karmic pattern that others haven't been able to do themselves, oftentimes that can be very confronting to those people. Okay? It takes a while for them to feel the full magnitude of not only what you've done for yourself, but for your lineage and for everyone around you. Actually. Okay, your actions reverberate outwards into your bloodline, I'm hearing. Now, I don't know why we're focused so much on family, but maybe this is a time for you to really think about that. So you're anticipating being isolated. You could also be anticipating that somebody else may have a certain reaction to you isolating them, no longer welcoming them in, or a certain behavior that they're prone to. This is supporting you because you're not going to be taken by surprise. Okay, you fully know the decision you made to cut the cord and what that entails. You're under no illusion that suddenly the script is just going to flip and everything's going to be easy. No, as justice, you're not in a fantasy land with your expectations of how things unfold next. It feels to me like you are willingly entering a period of independence that includes pieces of isolation here. How do I explain this? So I don't feel like you're going to be alone, okay? Isolation here isn't really coming off as you being alone. It's more putting up some boundaries, isolating yourself from certain situations, or isolating something that you really love and you're working on, something you're taking care of, isolating that from another controlling force. And I feel like you're preparing to do this, or you're strategizing. How can I protect this? How can I move this energy, whether that's yourself or something that you care about, right? Something that you've created. How can I remove this energy or move this energy into a place that is more amenable, more productive, more warm, and away from this old pattern that I've cut out of my life, or this group of people that I'm no longer talking to or involved with, or how can I even bring myself into a better place after I've cut the cord? How can I isolate myself? I hope that makes sense. There's something going on there, though, that feels a little bit tricky in your thinking. Because isolation is not the ultimate goal, but it's a necessary step in your independence. Okay, some of you, you've had a lot of, I'm hearing parrots, okay, people parroting you, or people in your ear chirping, kind of giving you advice or telling you what you should do. Now I'm also noticing with anticipation here, all these empty chairs. In some ways, it feels like you're getting ready for disappointment. And this is supporting you, not necessarily because you're going to be disappointed, but because it's like you have no illusions or expectations even that could disappoint you. You've adjusted your expectations. Okay, let's get into your reading and see what else we get. Well, actually, tell me a little bit more about this anticipation and isolation. Thoughts, cultivate your ideas, isolating certain thoughts. You know, whatever it is that you were courted to, whatever your karma was that you were working with, that you've since cut, cleared, resolved, integrated, it was trying to shape your thoughts. And your thoughts are extreme, especially as an air sign, your thoughts are extremely powerful, creating your reality. Somebody could be really wanting you to think just like them, or they don't understand your thought process. And I feel like you're coming to this place where you're like, that's okay. You don't need to understand. I don't need your understanding. That's the cord you're cutting. Okay, and then the challenging energy, we have companion, a discerning friend. This porcupine. A companion. You could feel like you can't really trust a whole bunch of folks, or you're very hesitant to let new people in, especially while you're doing a whole bunch of cord cutting. But I'm feeling that there's somebody around you who is a discerning person, and they are different than your run-of-the-mill people that you come across. They're an anomaly here from the routine kind of people you run into or communicate with. This person is someone I feel you're overlooking. I don't think they're upset about it, though. Has there been issues in your family around friendships? I feel like this could be something that you're resolving for yourself. Trusting and making friends and discerning who's, a routine kind of karmic friend and who's the anomaly, who's the one that can see what you see and can offer you true advice that you can tell truths to, and they can tell you truths as well, even if they're difficult for you to hear. Okay, this person will help you cultivate your thoughts in alignment with truth. Okay, so somebody here, I feel like, well, why have you overlooked them? Four of Swords. Because you're trying to bring peace to your mind. You're trying not to let everybody's chirping opinions get in your head. So it's almost like you've anticipated isolating everything and only listening to yourself. But there is somebody here that Spirit's saying, but this is a good one over here. Somebody that you might kind of be intuitively drawn to or feel like, but I don't know, I feel like you've misjudged them in some way. Let's see. Two of Wands. Yeah, it's a little bit. Five of Wands. There's a little bit of like, I don't really know what this person's about or what's in there, what's in that cave. Maybe it's going to be competition or conflict. But what is it actually? Why is this person so discerning? King of Pentacles. They're stable. They're solid. They're grounded. They know who they are. They have resources too that they rely on themselves. I don't feel like this is a person who wants to take anything from you. Maybe it's somebody who's more than a friend. Could be more than a friend, a companion. You decide who this is. Okay, and maybe you already know who it is, but you haven't spent a lot of time with them recently, or you haven't touched base. Spirit's saying, do that. Because while it is important that you're isolating certain people and things in your life, don't isolate everyone. Independence is sovereignty, not loneliness. Okay, so let's get into your reading, Libra, and see what else we get. And I feel like if you are having troubles, difficulties, quarrels, or you're working through some things with family, having a good friend can be a monumental support system, especially when you're dealing with family stuff. Like more than a romantic partner, sometimes a friend can be exactly what you need for family issues. Okay? And it might be the case that you have a great relationship with your family, but there's things historically that you're kind of I'm seeing someone unweave something. It's like you're no longer deciding that you want to be part of that tapestry. Okay? So let's see for Libra. Two of Wands. Okay. Let's get all the cards out here. Wow, this turns out real well here for you, Libra. Okay, you could be dealing with some water energy, water signs, or maybe in water months, things feel a little bit ungrounded here in whatever we're talking about. And maybe you haven't really known exactly how to cut this cord for a long time and how to get the independence you deserve. And if there's a decision coming up for you and you feel like somebody around you has more control in this decision than they should, I do see you doing something about that and saying like, that's not going to work here. I'm going to get creative and find another situation. Interesting. Find another solution is what I was going to say. Okay, so your overall energy is the Two of Wands. Yeah, okay, so this is the anticipation of isolation as well, going into the cave. Do I really want to go back in there? And I'm seeing this horseman, the senator, is that how you say it? Reminding me of Sagittarius energy. So something could, or holiday season might be a touchy time for you, or something could unfold around that time, or maybe someone's a Sagittarius here, or you have Sag in your chart, but it's like, do I really want to go back to that? You look a little uncertain of what to do next. Okay, tell me more about this Two of Wands. What is this uncertainty? You know, I feel also this sense of like mental unease, a lack of clarity. Now, I'm not saying you have lack of clarity, but it could be that every now and then the story, whatever it is that you're working through right now, gets way more complicated or even a little bit fuzzy than it needs to be. This could be because of what other people are saying, or you just kind of get lost in all of the threads. This is where your discerning friend comes in handy too. The Moon and the King of Pentacles, someone to help you ground, to focus on the here and now. It's almost like a little bit of feeling overwhelmed and maybe dissociating a little bit, or feeling a little bit like, I don't know why this is happening or why I'm doing this. But with the Justice card here, you do know. You do know. So tell me more with the Two of Wands. What's going on here for Libra's energy? Six of Cups. Yeah, it's this vacillation of like cutting the cords, independence, future. Okay, I'm going to tell my truths and I'm going to do my thing. I'm not going to be beholden to this karmic contract or this energy trying to direct my flow, etc., etc. And then something shifts in the energy, or your thoughts, you know, get a little bit muddled, maybe with anticipation of isolation, or maybe you feel like somebody's going to disrupt you. And there's all of a sudden there's worry. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's worry comes through, and you start thinking about what you had before, what you may be leaving behind. There's like a sadness that creeps in. Some of you are considering moving back to somewhere that you were before. I don't see anything saying that's wrong to do. What is this feeling I'm getting, Spirit? What is going on here? Number 17, sweetness, set clear boundaries. Yeah, something has come in because there isn't a boundary. Okay, set clear boundaries with what? Knight. Number 33. Set clear boundaries at night. Maybe this is literal. Okay, at night you need to protect your energy. It's also like your inner world, your inner thoughts. There needs to be some boundaries around that. I'm seeing someone have a conversation here, perhaps with a family member. I don't know, it doesn't have to be. It could be with anyone. You're having a conversation and it's like you want to set the record straight, or you want to cut the cord with something. You want to not be timid anymore with something. Very direct. And I feel Spirit saying you can do that, but you don't have to divulge all of your inner thoughts and your inner turmoil and your worries and your fears and the things that have made you feel unseen or unheard to the point where you feel vulnerable and you feel like you might slip back into an old energy. Okay, so there's some kind of boundary that you need to maintain just to protect your own energy while you have this conversation. Or maybe this conversation is more figurative, like metaphorical. You're in your mind, you're having a conversation with someone, or you're telling somebody like, I'm cutting the cord with you. But there still needs to be some kind of boundary, because whoever you're cutting this cord with, they are very linked to your karma, which means that they know, and they might not do it intentional, but they might know how to confuse you, or they might know how to turn the tables with something. Okay, maybe you want to plan out some certain conversation, or maybe you're writing a memoir or something. Like, you want to plan something out with a companion, a friend. What do you think is the best way to approach this truth-telling moment, or this moment of cutting the cord? And then when you actually have that communication, or that moment comes up, it arises, maybe unexpectedly, you can have your friend with you, in your mind, in your memory, 6 of Cups, 2 of Wands, helping you pick the path on how you're going to deal with this communication or conversation. Because you do need boundaries here. There's something very sensitive, and I feel a little protective of you. Like, there's something very sensitive in you. Which isn't to say you're strong. But what? Masks off, authenticity. But yeah, this is like what I'm feeling. It's like you want to take the mask right off and like bare your authentic soul. But there's something about this interaction or this communication where it's not going to benefit you in the way that maybe you hope it will. Queen Bee, authority. This is the energy that you need to maintain that boundary of authority. And that's coming out in your advice too, Queen Bee, Queen of Pentacles. Confidence. And your authentic self is very dynamic, complicated, and it includes vulnerability and all these other beautiful aspects of yourself. But for some reason, and yeah, look, warning, I do feel like a conversation comes out of nowhere, or you decide to have one, and it's like, there's something Spirit's saying is like, don't bear everything in your soul to this person in this moment, okay? Because it's not going to do what you think, or it opens you up in a way that bond might repeat a cycle, okay? I hope that makes sense. 4 of Cups, it's real specific too. It's interesting how this energy in your reading is moving too. It's kind of like, I don't know, we're all over the map here. But that's okay. We're covering a lot of ground. 4 of Cups for what you don't see coming. Look at you in the middle. These are the birds chirping in your ears, right? And you're like, I don't like that story. I don't like what you're saying. I don't want to listen to this anymore. Maybe you're saying that about this reading. That's cool, man. That's totally cool. That's your choice. But what's going on here in the 4 of Cups? This is you rejecting something. I don't want to take that. Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's as if these people who look like family, actually, are trying to convince you of what direction to head in, or who to accept in your life, or what to accept in your life. So there's something here that you've either been thinking about moving towards, or you've been pressured to, or you've been convinced that this is your path, and you suddenly decide, like, that's actually not my idea. That's coming from somebody else's wants and desires. So I'm not going to pursue that anymore. Or somebody comes in and wants to tango with you. Oh, I didn't even mean to say it, just came out. Maybe that's a particular, you might hear that word. I'm also hearing Charlie Tango, yeah. Alpha Charlie Tango, ACT. I don't know what that is. Act. It's like somebody comes in and says something, maybe it's interesting, it piques your interest, there's a little bit of a code in there. They're acting in a particular way that maybe you used to find intriguing, but now you're like, I don't like that act. I don't want that. Okay, so there's a rejection coming up that you don't see coming, that you're going to do. You are going to reject something. Okay, so your opportunity is the Seven of Cups. This is you praying to your higher self to show you the way, to show you the direction. Which cup should I choose? And your higher self is showing you. It's pointing at the right cup. This one, above the clouds, above the confusion. Okay, so I do feel like journaling right now would be super beneficial. I know a lot of people say that, it's just kind of a thing you say at times. But actually doing it will connect you with your higher self in ways that you can't even imagine. And if you have been keeping a regular journal, go back and read some old entries 3-6 months ago. There's information there from your higher self. Okay, so your opportunity is to sort through this confusing energy by putting up those boundaries and really cutting the cord. We have a lot here, and I'm seeing 3 of Cups first, which is other people, cutting the cord with other people. Okay, let's see. Let's clarify the 7 of Cups as the opportunity. The sun. Yes, complete illumination. Beyond, choose the cup above the clouds. Choose the sun. Choose growth. Choose harmony. Choose your own sense of self over what other people think you should be, or how you should act, or what you should say and what you shouldn't say. So your opportunity is to gain massive clarity and personal growth by cutting the cord. I'm still not 100% sure, Spirit, how these thoughts about isolation and anticipation are actually supporting Libra. Can I get more on how is this actually supporting Libra? Like, where's the support in that? The moon. Again, it's like, I guess it is just dealing with your fears, dealing with all the possibilities of what could happen. And again, lowering your expectations. You know, when we expect things or people to be a certain way, we really set ourselves up for something we have no control over. I don't know, there's something there about expectations and addressing your fears. And one of them seems to be something about loneliness or being alone, which is normal. I think most of us fear that. Maybe end of life loneliness you're thinking about. But thinking about this now is a support for you, because you're addressing your shadow. 4 of Swords, and this is how you get that peace of mind. Okay, and there is somebody here for you, for sure, 100%. Anomaly with companion, they're a good one. Okay, the World for the challenge. So let's see. This is, I'm hearing traveling. It could be literal, but maybe traveling, energy traveling is what I'm getting. Let's see. Temperance, energy traveling. Boundaries at night, energy traveling. Something you need to do at night here to give yourself peace of mind. The challenge here is something is taking a long time, or it has taken a long time to figure something out or decide what you're going to do. But you are doing it, and many of you have already cut the cord. So now, after you cut the cord, right, you unweave yourself from the tapestry of karmic, whatever this is, then you can pull your thread out and decide what you're going to do with it. So you have a thread. I'm sorry this is so, well, I'm not really sorry, I shouldn't say that, but This is pretty abstract and metaphorical, but it is like the energy here. And it's special too, because the possibilities are more open when the energy's like this. And this is your energy too. Your possibilities are more open than you think. If you had a clear beginning, middle, and end, you'd just be weaving a familiar pattern over and over again. So when we weave a new tapestry, we take our thread out and we decide, I'm going to do something different with this. Maybe you're not even going to weave a tapestry. Maybe you're going to do something else with that thread that you haven't even thought of yet. It's a little bit unclear at first how to proceed because you're doing something brand new. So remember that, because you are doing something brand new. You're closing out a cycle, but you're beginning something. And it's going to take some patience and some trial and error, I feel. Some trial and error up ahead, but that's okay. I'm hearing it's a skill. Trial and error is a skill. Maybe to keep going when there's trial and error. Persistence in the face of error. Reflection, 44. Reflection reveals who you are. Well, I feel as though you have seen a side of yourself that has been the subject of other people's ridicule, or again, somebody trying to control, or an energy in general trying to control your direction. And you're seeing that that part of you has been shut down, kept out, kept quiet. And that part of you is now what you're looking at in the mirror. You're seeing your reflection of that part of you. And you want that part of you to be taking up center stage, which is why the authenticity card came out with masks off. You want everyone to see that side of you, and they will, but there needs to be a little bit more time here that you spend with that side of yourself before you present it to the world. I don't know exactly what that means for everyone. What does that mean for everyone? Spirit. 10 of Wands. How do I explain this? It's like this newfound sense of self needs to have a few coffee dates with another part of yourself that is really known to you, bold, strong, a protector energy, and they need to become friends and decide what they're going to do and how they're going to walk hand in hand out into the world, rather than just throwing this newfound sense of self out there to the sharks or to the wolves without that other part of you, maybe a part of your shadow or a more bold, fierce part that you're already familiar with. I hope that makes sense. This is the best way I can communicate this energy. Queen of Pentacles for your advice. So this is confidence, grounding, stability, security, independence. So what should they do with this energy? The Emperor, 5 of Wands, and the Fool. Well, you are definitely getting out of conflict. Even as you oversee other, you're going to be witnessing and watching other people's conflict, maybe in your family. Whereas before you would have jumped into the conflict, it's now like you can see something for what it is. You know, you're just listening or you're looking and you're like, wow, there goes that pattern again and again and again. I'm not going to participate in it this time. I'm doing something different. Queen of Pentacles and the Fool. I'm going to take my solid, grounded energy somewhere else. Or I'm just not going to be part of this anymore. This is even in a relationship context or with a group of people where there's competition or just conflictual energy. This is you taking a step back and saying, wait, I'm in control with what I decide to do here. And I'm hearing that song, I got my mind set on you. I don't even know that whole song. You got your mind set on something else here. Okay, I'm getting like you're becoming a better version of yourself truly. So the outcome, I'm going to tell you the outcome, and I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. Do you need an extended on this? I don't know. Let me see. Do we need an extended on this? The hangman. No, I don't think we do. I think we're going to hang it here. We're going to hang the hat on the wall here. Hang out here in this energy. Yeah, 5 Pentacles. We don't need an extended on this. I think this is the full reading. So the outcome for you is the 10 of Cups. This is amazing. This is bliss. Unification. Seeing eye to eye. Shared goals, shared vision, harmony. Okay, so this is where all of this is heading, which I'm very happy about because it's a little bit foggy in the middle here. Okay, let's see. 10 of Cups for the outcome. Tell me what happens here. You cut the cord, you get independence, and then you move into... And 10 of Cups is a family card. Can be. But this is you changing your karma here. Changing your choices and what you decide to do. Ace of Pentacles. Yes. You've broken a karmic cycle. And it's a big deal, Libra. I hope you know that. I feel like I should pull one more card. Yeah, let's pull one of these cards. See what we get. See what we get since we're not doing an extended. Closing message for Libra, whoever's here. Dancing on one foot, balancing act, which reminds me of the Fool and the many masks, the authentic self. Okay, we got to read this one. We got to. Number 38. The authentic self, energizing internal allies, a conscious shift. We live in a world where everyone we see wears a mask. We wear these masks to cover up and protect who we really are. We learn to do so because we've been conditioned to try to appear a certain way to fit into society or a family or a relationship. Masks allow us to belong, so we remain within the confines of what is expected. Masks are not inherently bad. Rather, they provide context and structure for our personalities and soul's expressions. Some of us might believe that a particular mask, fixed and hardened onto us, is our permanent face. We forget that we are living beings with a multitude of faces, enabling us to experience a fuller, more vibrant world. Reflection, right? So this is what you're seeing beyond, or you're seeing a different mask that you don't usually wear, or beyond the mask, or however you want to think about it. But I'm going to read the rest, but I also want to say to you, Libra, that conversation that is going to arise with someone, there is a certain mask that Spirit's saying you can wear as a boundary. And this isn't about being fake at all. It's like strength. You know, think about all of the major arcana cards as different masks. Well, you wear the strength card in that conversation. Okay? Your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Oh, right, expectations. And maybe this is why you've shifted your understanding around expectations. Now is the time to strip away the mask you've accepted and discover who you really are. A new self is emerging, and your perception changes as you adopt new ways of being. Right now, it's really important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience the world in all its myriad potentials and possibilities. Try on different masks and let yourself be fluid and curious. How will you know what you love and what you resonate with if you don't take off the mask you've always worn and test drive some new ones? Your authentic essence will never change. It will only express itself differently through these optional selves. Through trial and error, you discover more and more about who you want to become. What would it feel like to explore this side of you? Anything is possible if you're willing to open up to your potential. You truly can move beyond the barriers that society has set for you. Use your imagination and step into the magic. What a beautiful reading. All right, Libra, I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.